welcome to this Q&A. You've been asking me questions on Instagram. Me and James are currently in Bangkok, beautiful city, getting some videos done for you, and I'm going to do this quick Q&A. So if you've asked a question and it's a good one, I'm going to answer it now. Would you ever do ayahuasca? Now, ayahuasca is the jungle medicine, so that'll wipe your brain straight out your head. That'll give you bad memories. And now, before, there was probably a time in my life that I thought, yeah, I'll take ayahuasca. I'd like a little bit of a mental recreation. The problem is, when your life starts going good, when you feel like you're succeeding, you don't really want to mess around with your brain chemistry. And for me, I don't want to mess around with it just in case it turns me weird or I end up not wanting to sort of have a good life anymore and make money and stuff. So no, I wouldn't try ayahuasca at this point in my life. My life's going really well, the best it's ever gone. I don't want to mess that up by taking some psychedelic drug. In 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? By Lewis, 95. 5 years' time, it's a long time. I feel like at the moment I'm growing every few months into a different person, but I've written down one thing that I'll share with you. In 5 years' time, I'd like there to be a Marvel movie about a gorilla-style character starring me, and I think that would be funny. Some sort of gorilla Marvel-style blockbuster movie has got to be done. How are your parents? This one's from Loud Drifts. What's up, Loud Drifts? I've spoken to you a few times, actually. You're a G. How are your parents? Do you provide for them? And what do they think about your recent success? I love my parents. They're very well. They're back in England at the moment. We speak fairly regularly. And I don't currently provide for my parents. My dad does fairly well for himself in his job that he's got. My mum works as a private physiotherapist. So they're both doing very well. In the future, I do plan to provide for them, obviously. I think at the start, you've really got to look after yourself. You've got to make sure everything's set. You've got to reinvest back into your business. And then when the time comes, maybe in a year's time, 2 years' time, down the line, you can properly take care of your parents rather than just a little bit here and there. So that's certainly one of my number one goals. If you looked in my journal, my goals diary, looking after my parents is way up there. It's one of the major things that motivates me. And in terms of the YouTube and things, my dad watches all the videos, my mum watches some of them, and they love it. They love the YouTube. Can I come visit? A little hottie's messaged in the Instagram. Can I come visit? XOXO. You know who you are if you're watching the video. Let me know when you're in Thailand, that's all I'm saying. There's one from this fella, James Baldwin. How can I stop wanking? Here's one for all of you wankers out there. Wanking yourself blind, fucking choking your goat all day long. Just stop touching it, okay? Stop rubbing it. How did I learn about growing a personal brand and marketing? I learned it from Colin Yerkeson. Go check him out on Instagram. He was one of my first mentors. And he just showed me the power of a personal brand. And I'd say the biggest thing is to get started, to start producing content straight away. Believe it or not, you look far back enough. I started doing credit tips on Instagram as my first thing that I did, about boosting credit and stuff. Like, I think it was about 1.5 years ago now, or 1 year ago. That was my first thing into personal branding. So you really don't know where it's going to take you. Start producing content. You'll find the feel. I found fitness content. That's now evolved into testosterone, more dating lifestyle. So just get started. And that's way better than constantly thinking about what you're going to do. Just start posting stories, start posting Instagram reels. I'm feeling anxious and panicked. How can I get rid of it? I had this same problem, and I don't know how old you are, but when I was 16, I started getting what I'd call now anxiety attacks. I didn't know what they were at the time, where I'd feel suddenly like overcome with dread and sort of I'd feel very sick, and I'd have to often leave like public places or dinners. Like I'd go for dinner with people I maybe didn't know quite so well, or I'd go to dinner with like a girlfriend and her parents, and then I'd have to leave that dinner because I was feeling sick or whatever, and that was anxiety. So the way I dealt with it is you've got to understand that the anxiety and the panic is just something that your brain is doing to you. And after a while, when you realise nothing actually happens, when you go home and chill out, you can start to tell yourself that. So I had a few things I'd do: go to the bathroom, do some deep breaths. Stop drinking alcohol. If you do, I found my anxiety is absolutely through the roof if I drink a lot of alcohol for the next few days after. Don't use alcohol as a coping mechanism for anxiety, as I know a lot of people do, to give themselves confidence. It'll just prolong the problem. What are the birds saying out here? Gorilla boys taking over. Love the clan. The birds here are, in my opinion, very good. I think they're lovely ladies. They're very caring, very sensual, very kind. I've met some beautiful women here. I'm not saying women in the UK aren't beautiful as well, because there certainly are, but I think you find more... It's kind of like a freedom when you're travelling, and there's a freedom to the lifestyle here that make women easier to get along with, I think, on a quicker basis. But I would say, yeah, they're certainly worth a try. Absolutely. Hello, I ordered a couple of espresso martinis about 20 minutes ago. I was just wondering if they were coming.
They are on the way, right?
Someone's question here. Thoughts on alcohol? Do not drink alcohol. You don't need it in your life, okay? And as if by magic, some espresso martinis have appeared. Ah, wonderful. Come in.
Sir?
Yeah, come in.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh,
It's the first time for you met here.
Really?
Yes, sir.
The first time you made an espresso martini?
You can have first, it's good.
I'll let you know.
Yes.
Here we go. I'll let him know. Tastes good to me.
Oh,
Thank you,
very
sir.
much, sir. Thank you.
How do you set up the date once you get her number after a cold approach? There's really not that much trickery. I always think if you have to try too hard, if you have to do too much tricking when you're speaking to a woman, when you're trying to get her on a date, she's like not that interested. She's gone quite cold with you. You really want to see that and just have enough respect for yourself to not be overly trying with a woman that doesn't really want to see you. Oh, here's a good one. What's the type of man I'd be friends with? With my friends, I look for one key characteristic, and that is the ability to learn, the want to grow. If somebody has that, they can normally transform and become the kind of guy you'd want to hang around with. When you're a young man, you should look less at what somebody has, because everyone's not going to have much when you're all young guys. But you should look at someone's ability to learn and grow. Do they want to go somewhere? Are they willing to learn? Can they take advice? That sort of thing. That characteristic of a friend is very, very important. How to network or find like-minded individuals with the help of the internet. I would recommend that you use groups. So I first started networking by joining a group. You could join Gorilla Tribe, you can join any other online community, but join one with people that like the same things as you. So if you're into self-development, if you're into gaining muscle, boost your testosterone, Gorilla Tribe's great for you. If you're into crypto, there's crypto groups. Buy your way into a group. It's not that expensive. Our group's £100. You get the course, you get the WhatsApp group, you get all the workout programs. So in the grand scheme of things, for the people that you'll be connecting with, it's worth the money. If you don't want to join our group, there's plenty of others in the similar price range for topics you might be interested in. I think the best way is, rather than just sifting through all the shit on Instagram, bothering people, getting in their DMs, I would just pay your way into a group. It's not that much in the grand scheme, and it will pay off massively. How do you know whether or not it's time to leave a friendship versus keep it alive? If you have to think about that question, if you have to ask yourself, should I leave this friendship or keep it alive, then leave the friendship. I'd say if I'm ever feeling cold on a friendship or I'm not liking the person so much, I'll just take some time off and just don't see them. If you naturally want to see them, then see them. But if you're thinking in your head, should I cool this down? Should I go see them? You're probably not getting on with them too well. So I would just leave that one, and you shouldn't feel like that about your friends, I don't think. Should I have a girlfriend and focus on the girlfriend life, or should I be single and focus on the single life? Now, I'll break this down for you boys, because I've had both, and I'll tell you the positives and the negatives. There's only negatives to a relationship when it puts boundaries on you, when it restricts you in your life. So if you're in a relationship with a girl and it suddenly means you can't see your boys, you can't work on your business, you can't go out when you want to, they're some pretty big negatives that are probably not worth the pussy that you're getting in return. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're living the single life and you're having to go out every night of the week to meet girls at bars, you're spending money on dates, you're going to clubs, that's not going to be great for you either. You can have a load of one-night stands, you're not going to be fulfilled. I found my best, my most happiness, my most fulfillment and ability to work has come from that little spot in between when you're seeing a girl but it's not too serious. She hasn't got any control over your life. You can still do your own things, but you've got somebody that you can booty call, you can have over, or you can go on dates with, you can speak nicely with, you can go cinema and all that sort of stuff. So I think there's a nice in between. I've got a nice setup at the moment where I've got a very relaxed relationship. As soon as relationships start to restrict your life and make you feel trapped, the days are numbered. You won't put up with that as a man. We all strive for freedom. So I think it's in the middle. I think single life, you can find a lot of unfulfillment there. I think you can in relationships. The spot that is in between that is optimized perfectly. Do I have a meditation or mindfulness practice? If you want to meditate like me, like the CEO, this is my meditation practice when I do meditate. I have happy places that I go to in my brain. And I sit there and I don't think of anything else. I use mental imagery. So I'll sit in a chair in a quiet room and I'll take some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, maybe some box breathing. And I will go to the bottom of the ocean and I'll lay on my back in my mind. I'll lay on my back at the bottom of the ocean and just look up, and I'll try and picture the fishes running around, all the different things going on in the ocean, and I'm just chilling there at the bottom. That is my meditation. And my other happy place, my other meditation, if I need to think, is I'll do the same thing, but I'll be in like a log cabin up on the side of a mountain in the snow, and it's just me in there in a nice oak library. That's the type of meditation I do. I prefer to go to like a happy place and stay there. How bad was your anxiety at its worst point? Did increasing testosterone have the biggest effect? For me, anxiety at its worst point was when I was drinking a lot of alcohol, so that's always the first thing to go. When it was like that, I've had times where I wouldn't be able to leave the house because my anxiety's been so bad, but that is down to my own fault. I drank far too much alcohol and ended up with the beer fear the next day, feeling very, very terrible. Increasing testosterone gave me my drive back. Definitely powered through anxiety 100%, but it gave me a lot more than just powering through anxiety. Getting the testosterone gave me certainty, gave me the ability to do the things I wanted to do, gave me the ability to get on camera. So I think, yeah, 100% testosterone will boost it. The biggest change for me was going from a heavy drinker to someone that doesn't drink too much anymore. Wheat Waffles community said you only went to Thailand because you won't get any girls in England. Thoughts on this? Guys, go to my Instagram at Jack Hock Fitness, scroll all the way to the bottom and just have a look through and make up your own mind. But the reason I went to Thailand was because when you're trying to get into a space online, building a personal brand, going onto YouTube, is it better to be the guy that's doing it in England like everybody else, or is it better to be the English guy that goes to Thailand in this tropical paradise where it's cheaper? Do you still drink and party? Why/why not? Yes, I still drink and party, but very occasionally compared to all the time before. So once or twice a month, I will drink and party. I think it's just got to be in really big moderation, once or twice a month. Twice is even pushing it, but once a month is all good. Just don't do it all the time. Should you verbally tell a girl that you like her? I prefer to show a girl that I like her rather than tell her. I think you should show her with your actions. If she asks, don't tell her. It's better to be mysterious, I think. So you're better to look after that girl and treat her well, and if you guys are getting on together, she's going to start asking the questions. She's going to start telling you that she likes you. I don't think you need to go and tell her. I think the only thing that's going to do is either make her feel warm and fuzzy for 5 minutes, or it's going to make her feel like she's got you, so she doesn't want you. So yeah, be careful with that one. Balancing drinking and training, there's only one way to balance it, and that's to not do it apart from the occasion. So once a month, twice a month, that's not going to upset your training. You can't regularly drink and still get the same results training. It's just not possible. Is striking worth learning even if I'm nearly a blue belt in BJJ? 100% it's worth learning, because in a street fight, you are not going to go BJJ straight away. No chance about it. Like, somebody's going to punch you in the face, or you're going to have to punch somebody else in the face. It's not going to be rolling around on the floor doing rear naked chokes and all that stuff. You could get head stomped, all that sort of, all those sorts of things. So yeah, you want to learn striking 100% purely if it's just for self-defense. You need to go do some boxing. Is it okay to buy fake brand clothes? You can do whatever you want at the end of the day. For me, I'm in Thailand, it's easier to get fakes than it is to get real clothes, basically, and they're a lot cheaper. So yeah, I don't think there's any problem with it. This Lacoste tee is real though, okay? Just so you know, that's a real one. But these shorts, these squared shorts, they're fake. So in Thailand, yeah, I think it's fine. You can buy the fake stuff. Just don't tell everyone it's real, okay? That is weird. If you're wearing the fake rollie, if you're wearing the fake Gucci and stuff, and then people are like, is that real? Yeah, it's real. It's definitely real. Don't do that. At 27 years old, should I still give pro sport a shot, or consider it too late and focus on making more money instead? Depends on the sport. It honestly depends on the sport, but I'm one that would say it's never too late. If you feel like you've got a shot in something, go for it. If you fail on it, fine. Look for another career path after. You're always going to regret not going for it if you feel like you could at that age. So if you're 27 years old, even if you feel you're a little over it, if you want to give it 100%, go and do that till you're 30. Give it 3 years. At 30 years old, you can always go get the 9 to 5. You can go back to the sales job, whatever. But make sure you don't have any regrets when you die. That's the biggest thing. So 27's not too old. You go for it if you want to do it. Do you think a man's body count determines his value? I don't think a man's body count determines any of his value. A man's value is built from his persona, his personality, his wealth, what he has acquired in his life, his ability to provide, his body, his mind, his looks, but it's not from his body count. I don't think, you've got to go and get some experience with women, but there's no need to tell people your body count. There's no need to be proud of a high one. There's no need to be embarrassed by a low body count. You just got to have experience in the game. So whatever that number is for you to get a bit of experience, you could have had a lot of experience with one girl. I don't think value is decided by body count for a man. If you've got a high body count, great, you're a bit of a player, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really that important. This one guy, man, always asks this question every bloody time. How to make her come by using your mouth. I know who you are. You ask me this question all the time. You message me all the time this question. I have stopped. I've stopped licking pussy. Used to back in the day. I've stopped doing it. I think you want the sort of.
It's all in the clit, right?
Yeah. Suck the clit. You want to, give the clit a suck. Play around with that. Stick your finger in and give them one of them at the same time. That's probably as best I can give you right now, but I'm not licking puss anymore. Maybe one day, but I've not been doing it for a while. Do I invest in stocks or crypto or anything like that? Boys, a very smart guy that I know called 428 Blake told me this, and he's made a lot of money. He's multi-millionaire. He's 25, I think. He's over in the States, and I message him on Instagram every now and again. And he said to me, Jack, do not focus on stocks, investments, crypto, any of that stuff until you are making 10k a month. There is just no point. So boys, get your earned income, your main hustle, up to 10k a month, then start worrying about crypto and investments and all that sort of stuff. You might get some small wins with those things. You might make a couple of grand. You need that regular cash flow. Then you can start to make moves that are going to make you a millionaire. How to deal with body dysmorphia. My PRs keep increasing, but I don't like my body. This is such a huge one, and I've probably had to deal with this a little bit myself as well. You need to learn to love the way that you look right now without getting anything more, without doing anything more. You are enough right now. You can look the way that you look right now, and that is absolutely fine. And you can improve on that. There's no reason why you can't get better, but you need to learn to love everything that you've got right now. And don't worry about getting more and more and more, because I can guarantee you'll always want to be a bit bigger. You'll always want to be a little bit more shredded. You'll never be satisfied. So just learn to be satisfied now and strive for more, but know that you need to accept the way that you are right now, and that's absolutely fine. And if you can do that, you will find some more fulfillment. Thank you for asking those questions, boys. There's some great ones. I'll respond to any others on Instagram if I can that I didn't manage to get through. There was literally hundreds. You boys are the best. If you want to join the tribe, the link is in the description. The price will be increasing soon, so now's a very good time to join. I'm wishing success and happiness to every single one of you. It's time for me and James to go and hit the strip in Bangkok and show them what we're made of. So this gorilla is out and he's going to the party! Ho, 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 ho! Yeah! Whoopa! Thoughts on the casual sex? Well, it's very nice, isn't it?